Tonight, time's up.
With a newborn baby, we're not in a position to travel, so it means a lot to have family come.
The malls are closed. The last-minute shopping comes to an end for another year. Now time to focus on what is most important. Cleaning up after that pre-Christmas dump of snow. Pretty white Christmas on the way, and with the snow out of the way, a much easier time on the roads tonight and tomorrow. And the fight to find a way home for the holidays.
With the 24/7 supported care, it can help him support him to be more independent.
A Renfrew man who has spent years in hospital looking forward to a brighter day. Good evening and Merry Christmas. Here we are again. The frenzied last-minute preparations just about done. From shopping bags to arrival gates, Christmas Eve looked a little different depending on where you were and how much time you had left. Some spent the day squeezing in those last-minute purchases, while others watched the arrival board waiting on loved ones to arrive. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, by now most stores and malls are closed, but earlier today shoppers were out checking their lists twice to make sure they have everything they need, while others were waiting on someone special. At Tanger Outlets, time is of the essence. Shoppers are moving quickly, trying to check off their lists before the doors close for the holidays.
I'm an early bird. Get here fast, get out of here before the crowd rolls in.
An early bird on the last day for Christmas shopping, but not everyone is buying gifts.
We needed something to wear this evening, right?
For others, like Jackson Glover, being here today wasn't part of the plan.
I actually got into a car accident 2 days ago on my way to do my Christmas shopping, and so I had to delay it 2 more days. So lesson learned.
But for some, waiting until the day before Christmas feels more like tradition.
Usually I shop last minute, but this year it's been extra last minute.
While some are up against the clock searching for the perfect gift, across town at the Ottawa airport, the waiting looks different.
Who are you waiting on today?
My grandmother.
Like Augusto Udanen, whose Christmas depends on a flight arriving from New Jersey.
My grandma's making it this for Christmas now, so it's nice to spend time with her and my parents.
For some, it's a reunion. For others, it's meeting a new member of the family for the first time.
With a newborn baby, we're not in a position to travel, so it means a lot to have family come and sort of meet the baby for the first time and sort of make sure that we're not by ourselves.
Whether the day before Christmas is about what's left on the list or seeing the people who matter most. Either way, it's about time and who you get to spend it with. And if you are stuck for any last-minute gifts, there are a few stores still open, including Shoppers Drug Mart and gas stations. Patricia?
Ella, Friends sitcom way back when. CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Merry Christmas to you, Caitlin. And here's a look at what will be open and closed in Ottawa on Christmas Day. There will not be any garbage or recycling collection. It will be delayed by 1 day. LCBO beer store and wine rack stores will all be closed. All malls and grocery stores will be shut down. OC Transpo will operate on a Sunday schedule. There will not be any Canada Post delivery, and passport offices and Service Canada locations will be closed. The next day, on Boxing Day, you will have garbage and recycling collection, but it will have been pushed back by 1 day. LCBO beer store and wine rack stores will be open again, but there could be limited hours. Malls will be open along with most grocery stores. OC Transpo, though, will run on a Saturday schedule, and passport offices and Service Canada will still be closed. Well, good news for everyone who's hoping to catch a glimpse of the man in red and his reindeer. The federal government has cleared Santa Claus to fly in Canadian airspace.
Santa Claus, this is Steve McKinnon, Minister of Transport for Canada. Make sure you stay on your flight trajectory and look after the reindeer. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Canada.
Federal Transport Minister Steve McKinnon giving the official go-ahead today, and those tracking Santa are keeping a close eye on his route. Things over at the NORAD Santa Tracker headquarters very busy today. The operation has now been running for 70 years.
It had started with one child calling into our operations center,
And now millions and millions of interested children who are making use of the website, the call center. Last year, we got 380,000 calls, including, I think, 60,000 calls during one hour segment from kids who are calling in for updates on Santa Claus. So just really proud, and it's just a great initiative for our entire team, and we like to think for the entire community.
The team at the North American Aerospace Defense Command have their eyes on the sky, tracking Santa as he travels around the world. And Santa does know NORAD is tracking him. Yes, very aware of that. There he is, a live look now at the tracker. Santa is currently in Mali, and it looks like he is headed to Burkina Faso next. He's already delivered billions of gifts. We will be checking on where Santa is throughout the newscast. But if you want to have a check online, the website is noradsanta.org. Well, this time last night, the roads were a mess. As much as 16 centimeters fell on the capital, with the worst of it coming down during the late afternoon commute. That made for a pretty good Christmas Eve cleanup today. City road and sidewalk crews were not the only people busy out there. Many found themselves out shoveling or plowing their properties. Snow was falling for several hours. Environment Canada had the snow starting around noon yesterday and ending at 2 o'clock this morning. Pretty steady right through. The wind creating low visibility through much of the evening as well. Meantime, speculation that winter is not a friend to the new structure at Coecky Point. Social media users posted pics suggesting this damage was done by a snowplow. The wooden structure is suffering from some fresh scrapes, but no confirmation on just what caused the new lookout at the NCC above the gallery to be damaged. Well, taking a look at the roads right now, things are moving pretty well out there right now. I don't think a lot of people working late tonight. A lot of people are home from the stores already. There was a situation at Pinecrest earlier today, stalled vehicle there that had things slowing down to a crawl, but for the most part, it is all moving well out there this evening. As we take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and you can see a little more than you could at this time last night as well. It is -8 in the capital on this Christmas Eve. Taking a look at your forecast into Christmas Day, we do have a chance of flurries this evening and again tomorrow, but no significant snow like we saw yesterday. It will get colder on Boxing Day, cloudy skies on Boxing Day as well as the temperature drops off from what we will see tomorrow on Christmas, when your daytime high will be -5, although we'll feel colder, as you can see in the afternoon there. The winds out of the northwest at 30 kilometers an hour, making it feel quite a bit cooler than that. And we do have a wind chill to consider this evening as well. -8 in the capital feels more like -13. Well, a Renfrew man says he feels like a prisoner after spending 15 years in hospital after suffering a brain injury in 2009. He's been stuck in hospital beds. The family is looking to take advantage of new funding announced by the province, but the program's rollout has been delayed. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us now with this story. Dylan.
Patricia, a few months ago, the Ontario government earmarked about $1.1 billion in new spending to help move patients out of hospital if they could be cared for at home. That's the exact situation Ken Rakowski is in, but so far that money is nowhere to be seen.
Got another 5.
Cool.
Want to try one more?
This is what the last 17 years of Ken Rakowski's life has looked like, living in care beds, unable to return home.
I kept here all the time to go nowhere. I'm pressure like hell. It's like living hell.
A car crash in January 2009 left him with a lifelong brain injury, limiting the use of his right side.
Since then, it's really been 15 years of residency in hospitals, various hospitals. And so what we're trying to do is get Ken back out into the community where he should be.
Ken is able to use a wheelchair. His sister Corrine has rented an accessible apartment in Renfrew to live in.
It's a nice open concept, so he can, he's got room to maneuver in a wheelchair around the island.
Corrine says her brother's basic needs are being provided by the hospital. The only thing stopping them from leaving this hospital room that Ken calls a prison, money.
I looked into what it costs for Ken to be in a hospital, and it's $1,300 a day, which that, when you calculate that out, that's almost $475,000 a year. It looks like Ken could be living in the community with the supported care he needs for $350,000 a year.
This fall, the Ontario government announced new funding which would provide patients like Ken up to $700 per day for high-intensity home care, allowing him to leave the hospital and free up the bed.
What I'm hoping to get is some of that funding to invest it into the community care that Ken requires. He's ready to return to the community. He shouldn't be in here. It's actually setting him back and putting him in further decline. You know,
What's detrimental?
It's detrimental?
Yeah.
According to documents obtained by CTV News, that program was slated to roll out this December, but this year's severe flu strain has pushed back the program launch to 2026. That means Ken, along with another 5,000 patients across Ontario stuck in care beds, will spend another Christmas in hospital.
Keep here all the time, do nothing but rot in here. You might as well, he says.
The new timeline to roll out this high-intensity home care initiative is between January and the end of March. Province-wide, more than 4,500 patients are categorized as medically stable in hospital, but are unable to be discharged. Patricia.
CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. And CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the situation impacting this Renfrew resident. You can find more online at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
Still ahead, do we have to spell it out for you? No, he can do that. Chairman of the Scrabble board. We chat with a champion coming up.
Well, this is the first Christmas without the iconic Hudson's Bay as a shopping option. And in developing news, we've learned the old flagship location on Rideau Street is up for sale. CBRE is the company that's been hired to sell the 332,000 square foot property. The senior vice president for that company tells CTV News they are looking at taking submissions sometime next year, calling it a generational opportunity for a buyer. Jamie Boyce also says it's probably one of the best geographical locations in Ottawa. An asking price has not been disclosed. Well, the Wolfe Island ferry is still down, but people no longer have to feel stranded and unable to get to the mainland. Only problem, their vehicles still have to be left behind. The Ministry of Transportation is now using the Quinte Loyalist to take people back and forth between Wolfe Island and the mainland south of Kingston. But the vessel can't ferry vehicles, and the MTO now tells us tests on a different vessel for vehicle transportation did not meet safety standards today for a fix, so the Frontenac 2 is a no-go as a temporary resolution for the problem. Well, the new Grocery Code of Conduct comes into effect on January 1st. What is it, and will it affect food prices? CTV's Scott Hurst tells us everything we need to know.
Shoppers are making last-minute trips to the grocery store to get all the holiday fixings.
Stuff to make pancakes for breakfast tomorrow. Some baby spinach.
Is that for the big feast?
That's for the big feast. That's the only thing I forgot.
But high prices leading to an expensive bill at the checkout continue to cut away some holiday cheer.
Usually prices is always going up.
Through 2025, Canadians have been dealing with food inflation that remains stubbornly high, keeping affordability as a top concern for much of the year.
Everything is going a little bit up, and then you realize the next month is more expensive and more expensive.
But beginning on January 1st, something new for the food industry, a grocery code of conduct.
The code of conduct is very simply a framework or a set of guidelines on the relationship between grocers and their suppliers.
Top grocers have all agreed to sign on. It's expected to promote a more fair and transparent supply chain, clear standards for a better commercial relationship between the supplier and seller. According to experts, it could lead to more choice and potentially level the playing field for some smaller stores and suppliers.
The big thing you might see is a little more variation of supply.
So it begs the question, will it have an impact on prices?
The transparency is good, the dispute settlement mechanism is good, but don't expect decreased food prices because of the grocery code of conduct.
Expect food to take a bigger bite of your budget next year. In fact, the latest food price report produced by several Canadian universities is projecting the average family of four to pay close to $1,000 more, with food inflation likely staying elevated between 4% to 6%. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The United States and Ukraine have reportedly reached a consensus on the key issues in the U.S.-backed peace plan for Ukraine. Russia has yet to respond to the latest proposal to end the nearly 4-year conflict. And today, the violence continued. CTV's Abigail Beeman with the latest on what's in the deal.
Ukraine released this video of a Russian attack on Zaporizhzhia, home to a major nuclear plant. Russia released drone footage of what it calls troop advancement and airstrikes in Donetsk, both areas the Ukrainian president says are still sticking points in the new peace plan. Volodymyr Zelensky says his negotiating team came back from the United States managing to strengthen the 20-point draft. And in a Christmas message, Zelensky says we ask for peace. While the Kremlin said Vladimir Putin has been briefed and Moscow will now formulate its position.
It could be the ultimate protection.
The head of the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress is talking about the draft deal's promise of security guarantees that mirror Article 5, the NATO collective defense principle that means an armed attack against one member is considered an attack against all.
It is a sincere need on the behalf of the Ukrainian government.
But much skepticism from experts that Russia will agree.
I don't believe that Vladimir Putin would accept that sort of a security guarantee. But if that were a part of that and it were agreed to by both sides, then yes, absolutely, Canada would be drawn into any sort of conflict if that security guarantee was provided to Ukraine.
Global Affairs tells CTV News Canada welcomes progress made and, quote, commends the significant efforts of President Trump and President Zelensky and their teams. Meanwhile, the French president said he met with the head of NATO to discuss work within the Coalition of the Willing, a group of Ukraine's allies, of which Canada is a member. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney says this Christmas holiday is a chance to slow down and reflect and to reconnect with loved ones.
And although this year has brought more than its share of challenges to our country, we've also been reminded that we are fortunate to be part of one extraordinary, generous, and caring nation, that we're strongest when we're united.
The Prime Minister's office traditionally releases a recorded Merry Christmas message to Canadians each year. This is a first for Mark Carney, who took office in March, immediately thrust into a difficult battle with Canada's closest neighbour.
Merry Christmas, Ontario.
And the Premier is striking a less somber tone and going full Canadian this Christmas, playing a guessing game with some classic Canadian treats, including beaver tails. Doug Ford urging everyone to buy Canadian and celebrate with some homegrown desserts.
Adam can breathe as he has clinched his second world championship. Incredible.
Well, just ahead, we meet the Ottawa mathematician who spelled his way to his second Scrabble World Championship this year. And here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. -8 out there right now. We will be back in just a moment with your full Christmas Eve forecast.
Escape to Westport to enjoy some of the best sourdough pizza and bread you can imagine. Open for dine-in or takeout, this European-inspired restaurant and bakery brings a little taste of Europe to the Rideau Lakes.
Welcome to Foro.
Thank you.
Here we bring the finest local cured meats, cheeses, and produce to create a unique dining experience, as well as exclusive European wines.
I love the vibe in here. Savor the taste of Westport and visit watercolorwestport.com.
Today's Snow Report brought to you by Sommet Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
Well, Edelweiss was open earlier today, closed at 4 p.m. 2 lifts and 8 runs available. You do want to check websites to find out holiday hours at your favorite ski hills. A lot of fresh snow on the ground. 4 lifts at Mont Cascade, 6 runs available. All 3 lifts at Calabogie Peaks, half of their runs are up and going. At Vorlage, it's 3 out of 4 lifts and 3 runs. And Camp Fortune with 3 lifts and 5 runs available to skiers and snowboarders.
For the quickest access to the mountain, purchase your tickets online, summitedelweiss.com. Grab your pass at the pickup box and head straight to the lift.
Well, how do you spell champion? An Ottawa mathematician has found the perfect formula for Scrabble success, winning his second world championship title earlier this year. CTV's Leah LaRocque sat down with Adam Logan.
Adam can breathe as he has clinched his second world championship. Incredible.
There aren't many words to describe winning a world championship. But if you're Adam Logan, you just need a few.
And by good fortune, I played consecutively Infamies and Diopters, both of which scored over 100 points and put me in the lead.
It's those letters that helped the Ottawa mathematician win the Scrabble World Championships in Ghana in November, his second in 20 years.
Forced myself to say, wait a minute, calm down, you don't have to play this in 5 seconds, turn the word around, make sure you're spelling it correctly.
He says Scrabble blends his two favorite things, words and numbers.
But nevertheless, there is a lot of overlap in the mindset of thinking logically, coming up with a sensible approach to some particular situation, and having some basic understanding of probability.
The passion started at age 9, and his curiosity to keep learning never stopped. He is the only player to have won the Canadian Scrabble Championships 5 times and has competed in tournaments in 15 countries and won more than $100,000.
It is hard for me to play without taking it seriously, and I don't think that I would want to, because I think that would create bad habits.
Where Adam Logan came from behind against Nigel.
This latest victory, defeating Nigel Richards, who's thought to be the best Scrabble player ever.
So how does one prepare to be a Scrabble world champion? Logan says it's a lot of practice, reading as much as possible, but also doing a lot of math in your head.
But what might surprise you?
Where's your Scrabble board right now?
It's in storage in a warehouse in Massachusetts.
Logan practices by using an online program. As for what's next, Logan says he isn't done with the game, even though he has it covered from A to Z.
Even though I am the world champion, that doesn't mean that I'm a perfect player or anything, and there is still a lot for me to learn.
Leah Rock, CTV News.
Well, for those who are ready for it, not in the mall today, it was a pretty solid Christmas Eve weather-wise. Not too cold, not too windy, a great opportunity to take in a little of the fresh snow and Christmas magic at Lansdowne or downtown in the Byward Market ahead of all of those family gatherings happening tonight and tomorrow. Well, taking a look at your forecast details. So we do have a chance of flurries through the evening, a little bit cloudy as well as we look at your satellite radar picture. It's going to be pretty good tomorrow, the nicest day of the next few, and certainly the warmest. We'll have those details coming up in just a minute. But for those of you who are traveling or wondering how it is going for family across the country, this is what we are looking at out east. Temperatures pretty similar to what we saw today, -5 in Charlottetown, -6 in St. John's. Halifax also seeing -5, colder in Fredericton. Into Ontario and Quebec, those milder temperatures. Again, Toronto on the plus side today, and winds are just a degree warmer there, a 2-degree daytime high. Into Winnipeg at -14 and cloudy. A little bit of snow in Regina today, also -14 with a mix of sun and cloud. Edmonton, cold, -22. Calgary just slightly better with some peaks of sunshine at -20. And nicely on the plus side in Vancouver at 5 degrees. And if you were watching that -41 in Whitehorse the last couple of days, well, there you go. Sunshine and -36 for them today. Quite cold to the north of us tonight, -10, -9 right here in Ottawa. It'll get a little bit warmer to the south and west, -6 in Kingston, Trenton. We'll see -5 overnight. For the most part in our area, it will be -7 or colder. Kemptville seeing -8. Maniwaki maybe a little higher chance of snow tonight than the rest of us. And Mont-Tremblant -11. For the overnight low. So tomorrow for your Christmas day, these are the temperatures you're looking at. -5 in Ottawa, 0 in Kingston, +1 down in Trenton, and a little bit of sun in the mix as well for your Christmas day. Depending on where you are, you'll see more or less of that. But for the most part, temperatures are fairly moderate and there's no significant chance of flurries. As we take a look at your 7-day forecast, so this is how it looks out there. For Christmas and beyond. All right, there we go. Christmas Day, -5, 40% chance of flurries. It's your mildest day of the next few, -9 overnight. On Boxing Day, cloudy, -13, so quite cold. You may want to stay inside, and a very cold overnight low. And then for the weekend, we have a mix of sun and cloud on Saturday and -9. Same temperature, full-on sunshine for your Sunday.
Well, I kind of laugh at the hero thing. I just did I think I did anything that anybody would have done.
Well, just ahead, a Montreal man who was severely injured while helping his neighbors escape a burning building has finally been able to leave the hospital just in time for Christmas.
Tonight, the first holiday message delivered as Prime Minister.
We're strongest when we're united.
What Mark Carney shared with Canadians as families gather later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Well, on this Christmas Eve, we're taking another look at NORAD's live Santa tracker, and it looks like Santa is currently in Morocco, and he's heading to Casablanca next. So far, he has delivered over 4 billion presents. Well, a Montreal man is being hailed as a hero for entering a burning home to help his neighbors escape a devastating fire last month. He was seriously injured, but is now on the road to recovery and made his daughter's Christmas wish come true, returning home in time for the holidays. CTV's Sweeta Rassi has the story.
Paul-Henri Sylvain is slowly starting to feel like his old self again and is finally able to have some quality time with his daughter.
Did you believe that I was going to be okay for Christmas?
Yes.
100%?
For 2 weeks, he was in a medically induced coma, and when he finally woke up, everything was a blur.
It took about 2 to 3 days to realize what had happened.
What happened began on November 15th in Lachine. Sylvain woke to a fire inside his home. His first instinct was to make sure all his neighbors got out of the building safely. After that, he ran back inside and tried to put out the fire. But Sylvain suffered serious injuries. Burns to his body, and his lungs and airway were badly affected. Sylvain doesn't like to talk about the fire, and he doesn't consider himself a hero.
Well, I kind of laugh at the hero thing. I just did I think I did anything that anybody would have done. I'm just happy everybody was safe.
His focus now is healing and making up for the time he lost.
I'm just really happy that I could take care of my daughter. That's my most important thing.
As Sylvain recovers, he's surrounded by friends and family. His biggest supporter, his 9-year-old daughter, Eva.
I knew he was going to be okay, so I was not really worried because I knew he was going to be okay.
All Eva wanted this Christmas was for her father to wake up, but doctors couldn't promise he would be released. Clearly, they underestimated Sylvain.
When I got out of bed, the nurse was like, "You can't walk." And as soon as I left the room, I started walking on my own, slowly and surely.
While there's still a long way to go, Sylvain will get to leave the hospital on Christmas Eve, meaning his daughter's wish will come true. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News, Montreal.
And tonight's big picture, Christmas celebrations are underway at a UK zoo. Animals at the Whipsnade Zoo north of London enjoying some festive treats. And for these lynx, the biggest challenge appears to be how to best unwrap their presents. But not everyone at the Conservation Zoo is getting something this Christmas. That would be a major task considering it is home to more than 11,000 animals. Many of them are endangered in the wild. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now as the year draws to a close. We're getting a look at some of Canadians' top internet searches in 2025. When it comes to the most searched Canadians, Prime Minister Mark Carney topped the list, while his predecessor, Justin Trudeau, came in second. Former NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was the only other politician on the list at number 5. Homegrown pop stars Justin Bieber, Tate McRae, Drake, and Shawn Mendes also piqued Canadians' interest. So did film stars Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, and Rachel McAdams, rounding out the top 10. A new Leger poll finds just 1/3 of Canadians are feeling positive about entering the new year. When asked about their expectations for 2026, only 35% said they think it will be better than 2025. 37% expect the coming year will be roughly the same. 1 in 5 said they think things will actually get worse. Leger surveyed just over 1,500 people for the poll. Well, the federal government is planning to release a strategy on men's and boys' health in the new year. Advocates have been calling for action to address issues that prevent men from getting the care they need. A report from advocacy group Movember and researchers at the University of British Columbia found that 75,000 men died prematurely in 2023, many from preventable causes. Federal Health Minister Marjorie Michel says a strategy on men's health will encourage collaboration on issues including mental health, addiction, and public safety.
He was clicking along at 36% in that span. Particularly good at home. Chance in front. Stutzla wide open, scores!
Tim Stutzla with the tying goal at the CTC last night against the Sabres. He's on an 8-game point streak, and that would send this final outing before the break to overtime, but just 30 seconds into OT. Bowen Byram playing the Grinch, sending the Sens into the Christmas break with a point, but an OT loss. Buffalo has now won 7 in a row.
Looks for room. There's the shot and scores!
Better luck for the Ottawa Charge. Rebecca Leslie with the OT winner in Toronto, her second goal of the game. The Charge rallying from a 3-goal deficit to tie it up and take the victory. The Charge next plays Saturday when the Boston Fleet is in town.
People are really loving the night out that we're giving them. You know, it's a tale with enough home and enough heart in it.
Well, just ahead, we had a chance to catch up with Canadian musician Alan Doyle about his upcoming concert stop at the NAC and his new book. He was here in town last month, and we will share that conversation after the break.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boll. Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
On this Christmas Eve, the Bell Media building lit up beautifully this year, thanks to our friends at Christmas Decor from Nutrilon. Well, he is a beloved Canadian musician and former lead singer of the Great Big Sea, but Alan Doyle doesn't just do music, he's also an author. His latest book, The Smiling Land, All Around the Circle in My Newfoundland and Labrador, was published in November, and we had a chance to catch up with Doyle last month when he was in town for the Ottawa International Writers Festival. Here's our conversation. Well, a pleasure to have a chance to speak with the Alan Doyle, musician and songwriter, musical creator, author here tonight. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's very nice to be in Ottawa. I love being in Ottawa, like when it gets just on the dusk hour and you can drive around when the lights are just coming on. It probably sounds really touristy, but I'm a bit of a tourist, and that's probably what led to this book, to be honest with you. I'm still a tourist in my own backyard, but it's very nice to be in Ottawa. Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, you are so good at expressing that love of all parts of Canada, one in particular, and one of your fans on your site advertising this very event said you write the same way you sing, with a love of life, and it's just infectious. But I know you told me before that the writing is maybe not quite as pleasurable as some of the performing that you do, that in fact it's really, really tough, and maybe you did it to kill time at the Pearson Airport.
Writing, the hardest thing about writing a book is writing a book. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, you know, if anybody likes writing books. I mean, everyone likes having books written and having, it's like, I say it's like going to the gym. I know it's good for me, and I know I should be doing it, and I'm glad when it's over. And that's what writing books is like. And but like I think we chatted about it before. It ended up being a real, really good companion to our travelers, like a band guy's life, because you have, you know, what do you do between sound check and gig other than sit in a hotel room and be lonely or whatever and miss home? And so I've just found it a great companion to my days when I'm on the road. And yeah, I wrote the bulk of my 4 books somewhere in the Air Canada lounge or on an airplane or in a cafe in a strange town or in a dressing room or whatever. And I find it's a great way to pass the time productively.
So much of your books, of course, are about home. Yeah. Why this one in particular? And did it have anything to do with your son and wanting to share some of the experiences with him and share some of what you loved or hadn't seen recently in Newfoundland with him? No, you're
totally right. Like there are 2 things. I love this kind of book where it's like an observational kind of travel book. Like one of my favorite writers is a guy named Bill Bryson. I love him, and I love the way he takes you along with him on journeys, and you feel like you're stood next to him in a pub in Britain or on a hike in New England or whatever. I always thought I could do okay writing a book like that. And then, of course, my love for Newfoundland and Labrador and it would be a great spot to try it out. And then our son, myself and my wife Joanne have a son, Henry, and he's 19 now, but he was like late 17-year-old, 18-year-old when we did most of this book. And I just wanted him to see his own backyard, you know, because strangely enough, like even though he was born, you know, in St. John's in the city with the internet and all the stuff, and I was born in Petty Harbour, you know, with barely a phone and my grandfather's 3 encyclopedias. Like I feel like I knew more about Newfoundland when I was 19 than he does. And I was
You
kind
were
of
hitchhiking all over.
That's right. Like I felt like I knew more about it, and so I really wanted him to see it before, you know, he would reach the age when him and myself and Joanne would never convince him to get in a car with us again for 10 years, the way kids do, you know. So I was really grateful for it. I really was, and I really loved it. You know, it's funny, I complain about writing books, but this one, the making of this one was kind of special and kind of fun.
The research part, right?
Yeah.
Telltale Harbour.
Yeah.
It's come a little closer. Toronto. It's not quite here in Ottawa.
Worth
the trip to Toronto for some of us here in Ottawa?
I'd love to do it here in Ottawa as well. Oh my God, they got the beautiful theatre here. I'd love to do it there. We're having a great time. We just wrapped up the latest leg of it at Murphy's Theatre at the Royal Alex in Toronto, and it was sold out every single night, just rammed 1,200 or 1,300 people in there. And people are really loving the night out that we're giving them. You know, it's a tale with enough home and enough heart in it. But it's really a funny, you know, farcical night out about you know, the lead character that I play is a fellow who gets himself in trouble a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a lot.
I've loved watching your Instagram posts on that. I mean, you're really a Renaissance man doing a little bit of all of it. I want to ask you about the next time you will be in Ottawa. As far as I can tell on your schedule, maybe you sneak in, but you're at the NAC in March, and I know when we talked about Blues Fest, you said some lovely things about Blues Fest and how much you love playing there. So I'll throw the NAC out for you in March. What do you think about being on that?
Oh my God, it's glorious. Like the NAC, the Massey Hall in Toronto, and then the 2 Jubilee auditoriums in Alberta, probably the Orpheum in Vancouver, just like those are the A-list halls in the country, right? And like it's such a thrill to get to play. You know, we don't have that many theaters that have more than 2,000 seats, you know, like, and so it's really cool to be at the NAC. And you know, much like the Confederation Center in Charlottetown or one of those ones, like you walk up and down the halls of the NAC and you see all the black and white photographs of like all the different theater bits and bands and people who have played there over the years. It's really fun to be in that, just one little point in that lineage of it all.
My dog was in heaven testing these ball throwers. There's nothing he'd rather do.
Alan Doyle, by the way, March 10th at the NAC. And still ahead, spoiling your pets at Christmas. There's still time, and we can tell you how your fellow animal lovers are doing it.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Bowl.
Escape to Westport to enjoy some of the best sourdough pizza and bread you can imagine. Open for dine-in or takeout, this European-inspired restaurant and bakery brings a little taste of Europe to the Rideau Lakes.
Welcome to Forno.
Thank you.
Here we bring the finest local cured meats, cheeses, and produce to create a unique dining experience, as well as exclusive European wines.
I love the vibe in here. Savor the taste of Westport and visit watercolorwestport.com.
Pets are like a part of the family, and if you're looking to spoil your furry friends this holiday season, you have more choices than ever. We have some of the top pet gifts perfect for winter walks to warm cuddles on the couch. And if you don't buy till Boxing Day, they won't mind. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
Don't forget about some of your best friends this holiday season. Consumer Reports test dozens of pet products that are sure to get tails wagging. That's how some of the toy testers reacted.
My dog was in heaven testing these ball throwers. There's nothing he'd rather do.
You can make your pet's dreams come true with a budget-friendly ball launcher like the Chuck It.
The best thing about this one is you can just scoop up the ball with it, that slimy, nasty ball, without touching it with your hands.
There's only one thing pets love more than playing, and that's eating. Keep them fed even when you're not home with this easy-to-use automatic pet feeder.
Setup is really a breeze, and you can even control it using an app on your phone.
And this pet-safe fountain can help keep your pet hydrated. It's small, quiet, and easy to set up. When it's time for a long winter's nap, your pooch will appreciate this Fur Haven dog bed with a foam base and faux fur. If you're going on a winter walk, think about protecting your pet's paws from ice and salt. For that, these dog boots are a top pick.
They repel water so well, and they're easy to get on and off. Also, they're super cute.
If you're tired of having cold hands on walks for your pet's bathroom breaks, now you can buy a heated dog leash. This rechargeable smart leash features a built-in hand warmer and a power bank to charge your phone on the go. If you want to stick with your current leash, keep your hands warm with this waterproof leash mitten with fleece lining. And if you have a truly pampered pet or one that's older or injured, check out this pet stroller from Costway. It earned being a top pick for being budget-friendly, sturdy, and easy to assemble and fold. Remember, a happy pet is a gift that keeps on giving. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, it has been a golden year for investors who have money tied to precious metals. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
The gold run carries on, with spot gold shooting past $4,500 an ounce today for the first time ever. The metal has moved up almost 70% this year, with central banks buying up gold and with geopolitics making investors nervous. Silver, too, is hitting record highs. It's up close to 150% this year. And the run may not be over. Goldman Sachs is predicting gold will get to $4,900 US by the end of next year. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 73.12. West Texas Intermediate hasn't changed much. It's at 58.35. Western Canadian Select is up to 44.94. And the TSX lost 58 points this Christmas Eve, sliding just under 32,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez. Happy holidays.
Well, coming up, we'll check back in on just where Santa is now as NORAD tracks his route around the globe. And taking a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, it is -8 out there on your Christmas Eve. We're going to be back with your Christmas Day weather details and the final elements of our Christmas Eve show coming up in just a moment.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Bowl.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
This week on Your Morning Ottawa, a special visit from Santa Claus and some little ones on Your Morning Ottawa for that special Christmas day. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
With a newborn baby, we're not in a position to travel, so it means a lot to have family come.
The last-minute Christmas rush was in full swing across the capital today as families headed out to pick up last-minute gifts and groceries and relatives at the airport ahead of tomorrow.
With the 24/7 supported care, it can help him support him to be more independent.
After spending years in hospital, one man's hope that new funding will give him a chance at a more independent life in his own apartment.
Adam can breathe as he has clinched his second world championship. Incredible.
And an Ottawa mathematician has now spelled his way to not one but two Scrabble World Championships after his most recent win this year. And a final check on the forecast now into your Christmas day. This is what you'll wake up to on Christmas morning, -4 with a chance of flurries, maybe a little freezing drizzle in there, not as windy as what we saw today. And it will be the milder day tomorrow of the next few. Boxing Day is going to be quite a bit colder, -13, cloudy, and a very low overnight low Boxing Day night down to -20. For your weekend, you'll see a mix of sun and cloud and -9 on Saturday, sunny and -9 on Sunday. And finally, for us tonight, we want to take one more look at NORAD's Santa Tracker as he makes his way very quickly around the world delivering presents. Santa's last stop was in Reykjavik, Iceland. He has delivered 4.5 billion presents so far. If you want to track Santa tonight as he heads out across the ocean there, the website is noradsanta.org. You can see where he was last spotted and where he is headed to next. And tonight at 11:30, we're going to look at some of our top stories in our annual Year in Review show. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Merry Christmas to all of you. Have a wonderful holiday. We'll see you back here next week.